Hello kind people of YouTube and welcome back to another video. As always, we're gonna take a look at the markets and then at a few articles that caught my attention today. Before we start, all the usual stuff. If you want more of these daily videos, make sure to subscribe. All the articles in this video will be linked in the description. In the description you will also find an email address where you can send your questions, as well as ways to support this channel if you would like, and my social media links. But let's get started. Let's refresh CoinMarketCap first up here. Today we're seeing the market continue to recover in a relatively minor way, most tokens up between 1 and 4% and a few going down a bit. Bitcoin Cash is down 2.88%, but that is to be expected here because Bitcoin Cash had a few spectacular days where it gained quite significantly, and you always expect a bit of a minor pullback after a few very good days. Aside from that, Litecoin, which has also seen two very good days, has also pulled back a bit, 0.53%. Tether, of course, always moving up and down a tiny bit. And we see IOTA down 0.03%, so essentially no movement. Everything else up between 1 and 4%, with pretty much no exceptions in the top coins. XRP still in second place behind Ethereum with about 10% distance. Here we see the volume has fallen significantly again. For a couple days it was hovering around 2 to 3 billion, and now it has fallen back to 756 million, which is more of a normal amount for the token. Of course, the unusual volume was mainly down to a lot of people flowing into XRP, a lot of fear of missing out as the prices shot up like crazy. Now that we've seen the prices established for about a week now, there is less of a drive in here, and there are fewer people selling off their holdings as well, so a lot less movement here. The Bitcoin dominance still at 52%, that is about where it's been hovering for a couple days, and market cap at 221 billion, that is up about, I believe, 1% since my video yesterday. So everything here looking relatively good, but this is most certainly not a bull market we are looking at. This is just very much sideways with really minor upward movement. Let's look at some analysis of the markets here from CoinDesk. Of course, like I just said earlier, all links in the description. Let's read this analysis from someone who is a lot smarter and has a lot more insight into this kind of stuff than I do. Bitcoin missed a bull breakout by a whisker as prices backed off from a 6-day high of 6,826 hit earlier today. Bitcoin's persistent defense of $6,000 over the last 3 months has convinced many, including billionaire investor Novogratz, that the leading cryptocurrency has bottomed out around that level. However, a bullish breakout would be confirmed only after the cryptocurrency has found acceptance above the top edge of the 3-month-long narrowing price range. Crossing that price hurdle is proving a tough task for the bulls. For instance, Bitcoin was solidly bid in early European hours, but the bullish momentum ran out of steam as prices neared the upper end of the narrowing price range, currently located at $6,870. As a result, a definitive breakout remains elusive. At press time, Bitcoin is changing hands at $6,645 on Bitfinex, representing a 2.5% gain on a 24-hour basis. The price is slightly higher now, I believe. Let's check CoinMarketCap. It is now at 6,667. So a bit higher than earlier, but not by much. It's higher by about 1/3%. On the weekly chart, the area around $6,000, which is the February low, has repeatedly capped the downside in Bitcoin, which indicates that sellers have likely run dry, having pushed the cryptocurrency down by 70% from its record high of $20,000 hit in December. Now most people probably know why 6,000 is widely considered the bottom here. There's two core reasons. One of them is that there's simply a mental block, as you find at every round large number. The added reason this particular one is a mental block is because anything lower than it represents more than 2/3 down from the 20,000 all-time high. Also, the added reason, and this is probably the bigger one, is that Bitcoin mining becomes unprofitable somewhere in the $5,000 range. So this is the lowest price that Bitcoin can sit at for miners to still turn a profit by mining Bitcoin, and that is what the core reason that people usually cite for why the bottom seems to have established here. Now, of course, hitting a bottom for a long time means that we're just gearing up for a price explosion and to go back up. And back to the article. I should just read out these whole things before I start talking about them. As seen in the above chart, Bitcoin has formed a large narrowing price range pattern known as a pennant over the last 3 months. A UTC close above the pennant total of $6,870 would signal a bearish to bullish trend change. More importantly, the ensuing bullish move could be a rapid one, as a prolonged period of range-bound trading is often followed by a big spike in volatility, according to technical theory. And even though the stacking order of the 50-day moving average, below the 100-day moving average, below the 200-day moving average, is indicating that the path of least resistance is to the downside, price action always takes precedence over lagging indicators like MAs. And their view, this is the perspective for the near and middle future. A pennant breakout, if confirmed, would validate the argument that cryptocurrency has carved out a long-term bottom around $6,000 and would open up upside towards May highs above $8,500. The outlook remains neutral while Bitcoin is trapped inside the narrowing price range. A downside break of the pennant pattern will likely embolden the bears and allow a retest of the June low of 5,755. So right now we're essentially very much in a position where we're just waiting to see what will happen. It looks like we have reached either the bottom or very near to the bottom. The question is, are we gonna test that some more, or are we finally gonna break out of this? Well, if nothing happens in the coming weeks, we have some major stuff going on around November, with, among other things, BACT launching, and so something should happen then. We also have more ETFs to be approved or not approved, so there will likely be some news coming out in the rest of this year that might cause the breakout that we're waiting for. Next up, Tom Lee says Ethereum will rally strongly up to $1,900 by the end of 2019. Now, 1,900, of course, significantly higher than it's ever been before. I believe about 50% higher than its all-time high, but I'm sure they'll mention it in the article, so let's read it here. Now, Ethereum, of course, has also possibly bottomed out, has been under $200 for a while. Right now, it's safely above 200 again, at 226. But we've seen it perform relatively badly in this bear market, losing a large part of its value. So let's read this article. Major altcoin Ethereum is about to see a trend reversal and rally strongly up to $1,900 per token by the end of 2019, according to Fundstrat head of research Tom Lee, as Bloomberg reported September 27th. In a note to clients of Fundstrat Global Advisors, Lee noted the overly negative sentiment on the Ethereum market, which he says will be a basis for its strong rebound in the near future. So a similar argument we see here as we see for Bitcoin hopefully breaking out soon. In his prediction, Lee has referenced the historical performance of Ethereum, citing that the times when the altcoin underperformed peers by 2 standard deviations, the price trend saw a subsequent reverse. Lee concluded that Ethereum will reach $1,900 by the end of 2019, a price point that is at least 40% higher than Ethereum's all-time high of $1,349, recorded on January 13, 2018. The price of Ethereum is $230 at press time, meaning that the altcoin's price will surge by 726% by the end of the year, according to Lee. End of the year, they of course mean end of next year, because this is a prediction for the end of 2019, not the end of 2018, unless they misreported this. But I'm pretty sure I saw another news website also quote 2019. Let's look at the Bloomberg article. It should have the yeah. Where is this quote? By the end of the year, is he? I'm pretty sure he's actually talking about 2018 and just got it wrong in the article. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he actually meant 2018. So, yeah. He just says the end of the year here with no year given, so I'm gonna assume he meant 2018, unless Bloomberg also misreported this, but I trust Bloomberg slightly. Oh, I accidentally closed the tab. Anyway, I'll find it again when I put the links in the description. I trust Bloomberg slightly more than I trust these coin websites. A lot of them are good, but they are younger. They don't have the same journalistic standards. They don't have the same level of editorship. So I'm gonna trust Bloomberg and say this prediction was for 2018. Now I'm not sure about Ethereum going up to 7 times its value by the end of the year. I think Ethereum really needs some very good news or a bull market for that, because if we're looking at historical trends, yes, it has risen like crazy before, but that was in bull markets or after good news. Right now, Ethereum is getting very mixed news, with a lot of questions around the future of the coin and the underlying technology, with a lot of changes to the blockchain being made. So let's see what will happen if we will reach $1,900 by the end of this year. I do think in the future that is very likely a price that Ethereum will hit at some point. But in the next 3 months, I'm not that hopeful. Anyways, next article. Cardano and QTUM can now be traded on Kraken. Kraken, of course, one of the major exchanges, has had a relatively small number of coins on it so far. I believe they had about 10 to 15, I might be off. But Kraken has never been a platform to just allow anyone in. It's always been relatively exclusive, and anytime a coin gets added to Kraken, that is really good news for those tokens. So Cardano and QTUM on there right now. Let's read the article. On September 27th, the cryptocurrency platform Kraken announced its support for Cardano, which is one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies on the chart. Along with Cardano, the platform also announced the listing of QTUM. The official Twitter announcement by Kraken said, Kraken to list 2 new assets, Cardano ADA and QTUM QTUM. Trading in both starts Friday, September 28th. In its formal blog announcement, Kraken also started the approximate time of the launch for both of the cryptocurrencies to be 1 PM UTC on 28th of September. Furthermore, the pairs listed for Cardano were ADA US dollars, ADA Euro, ADA Canadian dollars, ADA, I think that is what they call Bitcoin there, ADA Ethereum, and QTUM were QTUM US dollar, QTUM Euro, QTUM Canadian dollar, QTUM Bitcoin, and QTUM Ethereum. Currently, Kraken has 2 platforms for cryptocurrency trading, where the newer platform is claimed to be more preferable by clients due to the improved UI, integrated charts, and tools. Regarding margin trading for ADA and QTUM, Kraken stated that the service is not available yet, but could be a reality in the future. So they're rolling it out step by step. Recently, Kraken was also surrounded by a controversy where it was alleged to have fired its employees in bulk over security issues in its Halifax, Canada location. However, it was able to clarify in a later statement that the allegations were false. Furthermore, the reports stating that the cryptocurrency was to come to a shutdown in Canada were also denied by Kraken. Now, this is the kind of thing where it's where we do have to wait for more information that doesn't come directly from Kraken, because companies often deny that anything bad is going on, and then sometimes you find out later that the news was actually real. So let's wait for that. The ADA token has also seen a lot of adoption in the recent scenario. Apart from Kraken, it got listed on many big exchanges including Arbor, Bittrex, and such like. In the favor of the Cardano project, a cryptocurrency and blockchain space follower, Jim Wolf, commented, ADA, similar to XLM and XRP, is built for the long haul. This is a slow, patient, and extremely professional project that isn't chilled by a pack of moon boys. Well-deserved listing. I think I can agree with that. ADA has a good team, good technology, and a lot of funding behind them. They have use cases. They have very good potential in the future. And XRP definitely is a good comparison there. Back to the article. Discord, another cryptocurrency enthusiast, compared Kraken's decision of listing ADA to Coinbase and stated, very nice, Coinbase meanwhile is still thinking about potentially adding ADA, what a joke. You all know my perspective on Coinbase. I think it's a bit ridiculous that Coinbase has been holding out on adding some major tokens like ADA and XRP, and it's good to see other platforms just add them. And last but not least, Wealthy, with 2 eyes, a Twitter user and Kraken follower, also wrote, Cardano isn't even close to finished yet, you can't even stake it, Tezos is already here fully featured and well established, Cardano even copied Tezos elements. Now, tweets like this, I see a lot of stuff like that in the crypto world where people have a relatively legitimate criticism of something, but then they instantly continue by essentially advertising that project that they personally support, and then I can't take them seriously anymore. If you can't criticize a project or token or decision without also promoting another one that you personally are invested in or believe in, that just makes your entire argument moot, essentially. that why would I pay attention? You're just promoting something then. So whenever I see comments like that, I don't pay attention to them. I don't respond to them. I don't really want to talk about them, because in my opinion, you should be able to talk about a project without bringing another one into it, because then it just looks like you're trying to promote something. I see a lot of that in my comments as well. I get mostly really good comments, but a lot of the time I will just get comments where someone says, that and that is a shit coin, this coin is much better, and that you're just trying to shill your own coin. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, give me a good critique, give me real points of criticism, and I'll talk to you, I'll discuss, you might even change my mind. But just saying, this is awful, go get this other coin instead. You're just trying to promote something. That's not doing anything. Anyways, 2 pieces of Ripple news. SBI Ripple is officially a licensed payment agent. Will it boost XRP adoption? SBI Ripple, of course, active in Japan. Let's read this article. You know I love Ripple XRP. So, over the past year, SBI Ripple Asia has bought in 61 Japanese banks to its consortium, representing 80% of Japan's total assets. In the upcoming months, the consortium could begin to utilize the Ripple network to process cross-border payments. On September 26th, SBI Ripple Asia successfully registered with the Kanto Bureau. I'm really bad with some English words that just don't make sense for my pronunciation. Of Japan's Ministry of Finance as a licensed electronic payments agent. The license allows the organization to operate as a money transmitter, processing and clearing transactions on behalf of individuals and businesses. Oh, by the way, when you're spelling it in English, this is spelled without the U. That is a way of a non-standard transliteration here. So yeah, just Kanto without the U. The more you know. Back to the article. Initially, the organization Asia will test out its MoneyTap payments app, a blockchain-based. I think the organization is supposed to say SBI Ripple. Will test out its MoneyTap payments app, a blockchain-based money transfer service for retail users, but the license is expected to lead to an increased adoption of Ripple. Last week, the price of XRP, the native cryptocurrency of Ripple, increased by nearly threefold. Around the same time, the volume of XRP to yen and XRP to crypto trading pairs surged in the Japanese cryptocurrency exchange market, fueling the rally of XRP. Analysts attributed the abrupt increase in the price of XRP to the increase in demand for the asset from the Japanese cryptocurrency exchange market, which remains as the largest crypto market ahead of the US and South Korea. It is entirely possible that growing anticipation towards the integration of Ripple by the 61 banks involved in the consortium and 2 of the biggest commercial banks in South Korea is contributing to the newly found momentum of XRP. Based on local regulations, businesses that intend to work with banks and their APIs to process payments are required to be licensed as an electronic payments agent and register with local financial bureaus. The recent move of SBI Ripple Asia frees the institution from holding back the integration of various blockchain-based products, such as XRapid and XCurrent, into the existing infrastructure of major banks. Now, XRapid, of course, is the product that is to go live in the next month or so that uses the XRP token, and XCurrent is a system that doesn't use the XRP token by default, but that can use the token and is already live. Already in March of this year, Woori Bank and Shinhan Bank, I probably mispronounced those, I do not speak Korean, conducted a pilot test of Ripple's liquidity products to process cross-border payments between banks in the SBI Ripple Asia consortium. In December of 2017, the Ripple team wrote, "The Japan Bank Consortium will use Ripple's settlement technology XCurrent to settle transactions between participating Japanese banks and Woori Bank or Shinhan Bank. The pilot solidifies the Japan Bank Consortium's commitment to modernize payment systems, specifically in the Japan-Korea corridor, where Korea is Japan's third largest trade partner, to send money instantly, removing the need for intermediaries while reducing the cost of sending global payments." Earlier this year, Woori Bank hinted full integration of XRP by the end of 2018 if it is ready to be implemented onto the bank's services for international payments. This is huge. That is one of the major banks in Korea. This is big, and Korea, of course, also one of the major crypto markets. The status of SBI Ripple as a licensed payments agent increases the probability of large commercial banks in Asia collaborating more actively with the organization to speed up the integration of XRP. At the Money 2020 conference, Ripple CEO Garlinghouse explained that dozens of major banks will utilize the Ripple network to process payments. And this is his quote: "I've publicly stated that by the end of this year, I have every confidence that major banks will use XRP as a liquidity tool. By the end of next year, I would certainly hope that we would see, in the order of dozens." The Japanese and South Korean finance markets are closest to adopting XRP and its liquidity products. This is huge, wonderful news for XRP. Mainly for Ripple themselves, but all of this is paving the way for XRapid use, and XRapid use means XRP use. XRP use means more money flowing through XRP, means more people buying XRP, means prices shooting up, means great for XRP investors. So it is very good news. Japan is a very likely market to see mainstream adoption of XRP by all the major banks in the very near future. And a lot of world finance is flowing through Japan, and especially East Asian finance. There, Japan is pretty much the center. So this very good for Ripple and XRP. And I have some more good Ripple news. This is mainly just for their own self-promotion, but it's I like seeing charity by people who can afford to do charity, and Ripple has been doing charity for a while. If you remember, they worked with Madonna a while ago, raised I believe it was over $1 million for Malawi, and then they doubled whatever Madonna raised, so that was quite beautiful. Here, this article, we're not going to read the whole thing, it's relatively long. I just want to end this video on a very positive note like this. Ripple for Good places cherry on top, doles out another 25 million in donations. Ripple, one of the leading players in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space, formally announced the launch of its social welfare program called Ripple for Good on the 27th of September. The company is expecting the program to be socially impactful and mission-driven to further expand the global financial inclusion. In a tweet, Chris Larsen, the co-founder and executive chairman of Ripple, stated, "The Internet of Value is not about disruption, it's about completion, making globalization better for everyone. Ripple for Good will be a central part of that mission." The company stated that it has already doled out an amount of over $80 million this year. Subsequently, it is contributing an additional sum of 25 million in donations to symbolize its presence in the business-driven growth of the society. In its official announcement, Ripple also mentioned that the program has a set of focus points that include STEM, fintech education, and financial literacy. Financial literacy, I always like seeing this taught. I think financial literacy should be in every high school curriculum. Most people grow up without understanding it, and that is not the only reason that a lot of people are poor, obviously, but that is a contributing factor. A lot of people would be doing a lot better for themselves if they had financial literacy, and any project that supports financial literacy anywhere in the world, I am all for. These are thought to be the pillars to drive financial inclusion in the global digital economy. So, very good here. We see Ripple spending 105 million in total this year, just in donations on projects that are good for the world, especially in emerging markets, in countries that are considered third world countries. I am hugely in support of this. I feel very good about a project I support giving this much back. And I think this is also good for Ripple's image, because this is the kind of stuff that not just the crypto press reports on, but also the mainstream press. And any kind of positive coverage of major players in the crypto world in the mainstream press is very good and very important for adoption. Anyways, that is where I'm gonna end this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want more videos. If you like my content and would like to support me with a small donation, there are ways to do that in the description. Both crypto donations as well as PayPal donations are possible there. I would really appreciate it. All the links to the articles will be in the description. And as also a link to email me your questions. I'm planning to do a question and answer video soon, and I'm a lot more likely to react to your questions if you email me than if you type them in the comments under my videos. I lose sight of that very easily. So that's it for right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.